Hey everyone, welcome back, and before we get going into the video, please like and subscribe, pass it on, share the video. I don't care what you do, just get those subs going. Have a great day. On to the video. I wanted to do a little bit of a different video because today I want to talk about a company that I've been with for over 19 years. I started way back. I've kind of grown with them while they, through their struggles and their pains. And as of 2 week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I left them. And I guess you can tell by the title that it's going to be about Sprint. I didn't work for them. I was just a customer. Now, the struggles with Sprint have been long and arduous. From when we lived in Oregon, the Medford store, lying about policies on purchasing phones, lying about installation of service out where we lived, lying about data problems. There was just an awful lot of problems with that. My buddy a little over 2 years ago now, purchased a phone from them. They said, hey, you can upgrade anytime you want. When Apple brings out a new phone, doesn't cost you anything. Bring in your old phone, take the new one. I think the dog's upset about its food bowl. What's wrong with the food? There's nothing wrong with the food. She gets upset about her food bowl. My buddy purchased a phone. They said, oh yeah, you can upgrade anytime you want. And that time came when the new iPhones came out. And they said, oh, you have to pay the remainder or, you can't upgrade. So contrary to what they actually said when they were selling it. Roll forward a little bit more. Last March, I referred 5 lines, a friend of mine, to Sprint. They were having a promotion at that time that for every line that you referred, it was $50. I know some of you in the comments are going to say, no, the promotion was $50 per account. No, that was the promotion that launched in July. The promotion that was running in February, March, April was if you referred a friend, you got $50 per line. You got $50 per line and they got $50 per line. So it was really honestly a pretty lucrative deal. I referred a friend over for 5 lines. Went into the Biddle store, Medford. The gentleman said, who referred you? He gave him my phone number. He's like, oh yeah, I found him right here. He made the notes in there. My friend asked, is there anything else I need to do? He said, nope, I made the notes. He'll get the credit, you'll get the credit, and you're good to go. So we waited 2 months. June, I call Sprint. What's going on? I don't know. I see the notes. Yeah, you should get it. Should be any day. Can take a little bit. Okay. So I wait another month. July. Call back Sprint. Well, you didn't accept the email. I said, what email? And you'll have to take my word for this, but I'm very organized. I keep every bill that ever comes. I have top level domain filters plus other filters that filter all of the mail that comes from any particular billing place or company, goes into a folder that's with their title. With that being said, I never got it. I'm with Hotmail. Ironically, the person that signed up, they're with Gmail, they never got it. So this started a cycle of calling Sprint. They needed to do a conference call with my friend and me. He was at an airport at that time. We got that conference call done. Called back about 2 weeks later. Oh, we don't have any record of anything. Oh, okay, well, we started over from scratch. We called again, got the numbers, got the phone lines that reported, blah, blah, blah. Sent an email to some back-end spot that needed to actually see that we actually wanted this money. I don't know who says, oh, no thanks. I got plenty of money. I don't want any. Keep yours. Who says that? Like, why do I need to accept money? I referred the friend. And now you're saying, oh, I need to accept something to get money. So we get the backroom people that were supposed to do whatever they were going to do to trigger that we were going to get the offer. didn't do what they said they would do. Anyway, so we talked with another lady who said, oh, you guys are still good. You know, the offer's still sitting there. I can see it here on my screen. We just need to trigger it so that they send you another offer. So she supposedly triggered whatever it was to send us the offer so that we could sign in. That never came. They said, oh, well, at least just go create the account so that it's sitting there. And unfortunately, for some unknown reason, because I had already done that, it didn't allow me to create another one, even though it said I didn't have one. So, and you had to use your Sprint account, which meant the two were tied together, but you couldn't create a new one because you already had one, but it wouldn't let you sign into the other one, because it said it didn't exist. So it didn't exist, but said I couldn't create another one because it was already used. Sprint. So we finally get some supervisor on the phone. Mind you, all total, I'm just going to sum this up. All total, by the time we get to the end of this story, there is close to 9 hours on the phone with Sprint. 9 hours. And then honestly, at that point, I didn't even really care about the money. It was more about them just lying, covering up everything, making everything staggeringly difficult so that they never have to pay $33 billion, and they can't even let their customer service rep take care of a $50 gift card. Ineptitude is an understatement on so many levels. Rolling forward, we finally get another person who evidently can't do anything. This is like 2 weeks later. We're now sitting in late August. They said, oh, we're going to get it done, you know, blah, blah, blah. We'll get this. I stayed on the phone with the lady for close to 3 hours at that point. I drove all the way from work, Phoenix to Gilbert. I watched an episode of South Park. It was just a staggering amount of time that was spent on the phone with Sprint. Finally, she says, well, I'll have to call you back. And I really adamantly refused them to call me back because no one ever calls you back. Sprint never, not once has anyone ever called back. To her credit, she actually called back. Did not have the offer that we were supposed to get, but made a consolation of, well, we'll do this, we'll do that. What about this? What about that? We'll give you $50 because the offer's not valid anymore. It's expired. Yeah, because you guys took too long. Not my fault. Roll forward October. They actually mailed the gift cards. March to October, 9 hours of fighting, 9 hours of on the phone to get what was actually rightfully ours from the get-go. Side note, my buddy never received his. So long story short, I don't know who's more inept. The people that work at Sprint, the corporation controlling and throttling these poor people that they can't actually do their job. There's a reason Sprint ranks the lowest on customer service. And as you go through and you think about if you're actually with Sprint and you think about the customer service issues you've had and were they actually able to resolve them? Did they resolve them in a timely manner? Did they actually do anything at all? Your answer overwhelmingly is going to be no. We just recently, 2 weeks ago, left Sprint. We fired up 8 lines on the new carrier. We went in, did our shopping on a Saturday. Not unusual. One of the phones, for some unknown reason, would not port. We're not under contract with Sprint. We never have been. We buy our phones outright. We just walk in. We purchase them either at Best Buy or the Apple Store. We don't buy anything from Sprint. We just pay for our phones outright and then we activate them. Well, one of them was locked and wasn't able to be ported. So I called. Here's an interesting thing. Now, whether she was correct or not, this was interesting. The gentleman whose phone is locked, this is a business line, and we need it unlocked as soon as possible because he actually needs it for work. He's on call 24/7 and can't be without a phone. She says, I'm sorry, we don't unlock phones. I said, what? She said, no, all we do is put in a request and another company does it. Sprint doesn't even unlock their own phones that they should have never locked in the first place. We literally waited 48 hours. Monday comes. His phone is still not unlocked. He calls down. What's going on? Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have a request for that. They also locked his other phone that was only on their network for 3 hours. They locked that phone and can't find a record that they ever had it. And here's another kick in the teeth. If you don't have the SIM card, they can't unlock it. I honestly don't even know what to tell you, but there's a reason they rank last in customer service. There's a reason that their service is so terrible. Sprint, honestly, I don't know why they exist other than they're a cheap service. And that's what we were using them for. If we actually had to pay $40-50 a line, they would go under. If they raised their prices to like AT&T and Verizon levels, they would go out of business. They are a substandard, subpar, inferior product on almost every level. This was tough. I hope it made sense. I hope you understand. I'm not bashing the people that honestly along the way did their job okay. What I'm faulting is the ineptitude. It isn't a pass to give poor customer service. It isn't a pass to say that you're going to do something and not follow up. It isn't a pass to say I've made notes and then somebody calls back 2 days later and there's no notes. Sprint's alibi is that they will put nothing in writing. At one point during this whole entire process, I requested no less than 20 times on the phone who is the legal team that I get a hold of so that I can sue Sprint in small claims court and request all notes and documents from my account for at least 5 years. The lady outright refused to tell me who to send that to. I requested again. I said, okay, so who would I contact in legal that would be able to, so I can subpoena all of the records and the notes from my account for the last 5 years? Well, sir, and we went around and around and around and around and around and around. And I asked repeatedly again for who in legal do I contact? Nope. Even the supervisor would not tell me. I don't want this to sound like I'm just this guy that goes after companies willy-nilly for anything wrong that they do. I put up with their shenanigans for 19 years. It wasn't like I was short-sighted. It wasn't like I didn't have a history of needing to fix what was wrong. This time, before I left them, I knew I was leaving them. But before I left them, I wanted to hold their feet to the fire, hold them accountable for what they said they would do. I believe Sprint and a lot of other companies out there that like to run scams, so to speak, like this, make things, I won't say it's a scam, I'll just say it's scam-ish. When you send an email with no read receipt, you put nothing anywhere on the person's account where they can sign into their own account and say, where is it? Where my message center? Why can't I find this mythical email that was sent that I'm required to click on to collect money? Who doesn't want money? They sent it to an address that evidently doesn't exist. They don't make a notification in your account. They really, really do their best to make sure that it is impossible to collect, difficult to navigate, literally almost an impossibility for you to ever collect that money. And I know some of you in comments are going to go, oh, well, I got mine and it was no problem. I'm not saying that some people don't. I'm just saying when they really have to fork money out, when they really need to pay a good amount of money, they're going to avoid it like the plague. Sprint, I know you probably will never see this, and you probably don't care. But if I can convey one message to you, it's about turn and face. Do not continue down this road you're traveling. You were, back then, a much better company. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what you're up to. I don't know, and I don't care who's ultimately running it. But if you don't go bankrupt or get bought out, you are ultimately going to fail because you cannot treat people the way you treat them. This non-existent record system, this non-existent accountability, this non-existent customer service has got to stop. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry this had to be one of my return videos. I kind of wanted to make it a little bit more of a lighthearted one, but man, once I got into it, it just kind of flowed, and I kind of just had to unleash. It was a lot of stuff that needed to be said. It needs to be said in a public forum. They really did a lot of things wrong. It wasn't just on one level. Oh yeah. You can see my wife's artwork back there and the doggy up here keeping me company. I wanted to say a lot has happened. Earlier last year, I missed a month and a half of work because of right knee surgery. And unfortunately, December 7th of this year, I got to go in again for surgery on that same knee, another torn meniscus. And I know a lot of you are going to say, but you can do therapy for meniscus. Yes, except the surgeries that have been done so far now don't allow for it. I had a bucket handle tear, which is not therapy, and another tear on the other side, and then they discovered holes in a couple of my bones. And anyways, long story short, it was a long, arduous, painful journey trying to get back, which has returned as of October, ironically on my birthday. It returned back and it's just gotten continuously worse. So December 7th, I have surgery again on that same knee. So in the morning of December 7th, if you are so inclined, please throw a prayer up and say, help out my fellow YouTuber and help him get through and recovered. I'll try to keep the videos a little more regular. I know I always say that, but then I ultimately abysmally fail. I will have a video up for the new Nespresso flavors that came out for the holidays, and I don't remember what, Madeline, and this guy here, which is the macaroon. So we'll kind of sample these two together. I'm not going to open them till we actually do the coffee video because I want to taste them for the first time right with you guys. Kind of excited. I normally don't do flavored coffees, but this was the newest thing. I was gonna do the Paris. I sent my wife to get one of each. I wanted to get the Paris for the original line, and I wanted to get Paris for the virtual line. And I didn't realize that both were an espresso. So I'm not actually gonna do a review on this, but suffice to say, it's pretty good. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. And please like and subscribe to the video. If you guys can help share the word out, maybe corporations will be held accountable a little bit more. As they lose customers due to poor customer service, as they lose customers to non-existent customer service, maybe they'll realize that we do actually matter and that we can vote. You can always vote with your money. Take your money to the companies that actually value you. Take your money to the companies that actually give you customer service. Again, please like and subscribe. I thank you so much. Everyone who comments, all of my subscribers, I enjoy each and every one of you. Thanks again. Have a great day.